Hey, welcome to this video. If you want to get more clients, you need to find your ideal customer profile. It will help you to increase your revenue thanks to clarity. I will explain what is an ideal customer profile and how to find one, and I will give you the 5 principles about the ideal customer profile in order to get clarity on who you are targeting, what problem you are solving, and how to acquire more clients. All right, so the first thing you need to understand is that if you don't have clarity on your target audience, on your ideal customer profile, you will not be able to create a strong, solid, and unique marketing strategy. If your target audience is unclear, you will have an unclear messaging, because if you don't know who you are talking to, you don't know what to say to them. This is so obvious and easy to understand, but most of the time, founders are trying to target too many different profiles because they have what we call the shiny object syndrome, or the fear of missing out. Shiny object syndrome is that they see a lot of different opportunities and they are trying to catch them all. And the fear of missing out is when they are afraid to target only one target audience because they feel that they are missing other opportunities. But as I said, if your target audience is unclear, your messaging is unclear, so your positioning is unclear, and your content is unclear, and your copywriting is unclear. So if your ideal customer profile is unclear, at the end, you will end up saying things like, we help you to boost revenue, or we'll help you to 10x your revenue, because you need to talk to everyone. So you need to have a broad message. And because your message is broad, no one cares about it because it's not convincing enough. It's not precise enough. People cannot picture themselves thanks to your message. So at the end, because you tried to target everyone, you end up by targeting no one, or at least no one is interested about your offer. So in this video, I'm going to explain how to fix that. The first principle that you need to understand is simply what I just explained. You need to focus on one specific type of people or businesses that will absolutely need and love what you are offering. So you need to answer those questions. Who are they? What they do? What they fear? What they dream of? What they need to do? Where they want to go? And what they want to avoid. If you answer those questions, you will have a good picture of your ideal customer profile, and based on that, you will be able to deepen the research. The second principle that I want to share with you is that you need to listen to your customers and your ideal customer profile. So basically, you will listen to them to find a problem. Then based on this problem, you will propose a solution, and then you will get back to them and propose this solution. But if you don't listen to them, you cannot have the initial insights that will help you to develop your solution. So you have multiple ways to have this active listening strategy. The first step is to install a feedback loop on social media. So when you are publishing content, you can actually get feedback in direct messages and in the comments, but also by analyzing the engagement. Secondly, you can also do social media listening. So you will analyze the posts of other people, mainly your ideal customer profile. What are they talking about? Is it positive or negative, and so on. Third, you can also have surveys and feedback form on your website, in your offer, on social media, in order to get feedback directly from your audience with open or closed questions. Of course, you should pay attention to your customer reviews, but also the reviews of your competitors or of offers that are within your industry. You need to also have direct conversations with your audience where you can ask them questions directly. You can also record sales calls with the validation of your prospects or clients, of course, and based on the sales calls, take notes and analyze what they need and what problem they have. And last but not least, you can also create a community or join a community in order to analyze all the different conversations. Now, for the third principle, you need to understand why they buy. So by listening to them, you will have this information. Here, what you need to understand is the concept of buying triggers. So when they read your content or your landing page, your website, or they see your ads, some of them will purchase your product. And the question is why? What is the thing that made them click purchase, take out the credit card, and start working with you? The question is why. And behind the why, there is always a buying trigger. The buying trigger can be rational, meaning that it's a buying checklist. They really need to buy it for the company. And it can also be emotional. Maybe they fear to lose market share, or they are jealous of a competitor that is doing something similar. So here it's more emotional. Most of the time, the buying trigger is linked to, first, they want to solve a specific problem that they have. Second, they want to fulfill a need that they have. Or third, they want to achieve a desired outcome. So what you need to do is, when you are listening to them, ask them the right questions in order better to have the answer to those questions. And when it comes to solving a problem, you also need to make sure that the problem you're trying to solve is pure, meaning painful, urgent, and recognized. And you need to make sure that this problem is painful enough. Otherwise, you will really struggle to sell an offer to this ideal customer profile. Now, the principle number 4 is obviously you need to collect information and intelligence about who they are. So in the first principle, I told you like what are their characteristics overall, but here it's more about getting the detailed information. So I'll give you a list of information that can be very interesting for you. So if it's about the person roles, you can have a look at the demographics, but you can also have a look, most importantly, at the psychographic profile. This will give you more information. You can also understand their main role and responsibility, what is their job title, decision level, and also seniority, understand more about their pain point, problems, and also understand what is their job to be done. So what is inside their job offer that they need to complete in order to hit their KPI. A last information that you can get as well is where do they spend time? Is it on LinkedIn, on Twitter, or on Instagram? And also what are their sources of information? So where do they get information from? So this was about the person, and now about the business. You can research firmographics information such as the location, but also the revenue, the number of employees, the growth stage, the growth rate, and you can also look for signals about what are their next steps. So for example, if they are hiring a new manager in a new country, that means that they want to expand to this new country. So the signal is an expansion signal. So here, as you can see, you need to be very detailed about who is your ICP. And principle number 5, you need to understand how they buy, because most of the marketers or founders focus mainly on why their audience buy, but they don't ask themselves how they buy. Because if what you're selling is very good, but you don't know how they buy, you will kind of struggle to sell to them because you will not have a process that match their purchasing process. So first, what you need to understand is that there are a lot of different buying stage. So first, they are not problem aware, then they are problem aware, then they are solution aware, then they are comparing solution, and then they are using your solution. So you should understand the buying stage your audience, your ICP is in order to adapt your messaging strategy. You should also understand deeply how they buy internally. So who is the decision maker? Who is the champion? So the champion is the one that will take your solution and defend it within the organization. Also, who is in the buying committee? Is there the CFO in the buying committee? Is there a support team or a purchasing team? So here you need to understand who is part of the buying decision process. And then last but not least, you need to understand what is their buying checklist. So a company, when they need to buy an offer or a product or a solution, it's like a project. They have a checklist with a lot of different elements to check. Maybe it's about the legal stuff like GDPR, or maybe it's about the timeline or the budget. You need to know in general what is the buying checklist of your ideal customer profile in order to match the way they buy. All right, that's the end of this video. With those 5 principles, you will be able to get more information about your ideal customer profile, to really pinpoint a specific problem, and to sell your offer directly to them in order to increase the revenue of your business. If you like this video, you can comment, subscribe, and leave a like on the video. And if you want to go further with your content strategy, you can have a look at my 5-day course where you will learn how to set up the 5 foundations in order to create your content strategy. And I will see you in the next video.